There's no music. Hello, music. Where'd you go? Hello, everybody. Hello, my love. Where'd the music go? Who did this? Samshung, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome and happy effing Friday. Orion, good to see you. Fantastic timing, as always. Impeccable. Everything. Yeah, you know, when you start doing things and...
Every star will die,
AJ.
including our own sun. And eventually all that will be left is a
What's
sparse
up,
of
Lux?
particles and radiation. Even the energy of that soup will be sapped away over time by the expansion of the universe, leaving everything.
You should have gone for the head.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
The TGIF, am I right?
No potato kisses. How about some 5-year? No, wait. Give me a kiss. I'm young again. The fact that you're live at 1 a.m. means you are the GOAT. How are things, Lux? Good to see you in here. Orion, yes, indeed. Oh, seriously, where'd the music? I thought I hit the button for the music. Everything is... Something's borked. Ah, CJ! Hello. How are you? Why don't we have... Where did... There we go. There it is. Andy, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you in here again. Let's just say you unlocked the full potential of your gear. Ooh, Lux. Tell me more. How is the setup? How's everybody doing today? It is Friday, TGI freaking F, am I right? But good to see you all in here today. Boy, oh boy, there is a lot to unpack today. There's a lot to do, and it's kind of... I have a rough mental list of what we want to talk about. I'll probably be referring back to Discord and the tweet and everything else we had put out there. Also, it's been quite a time cleaning up, and there's still people to place on the spike of appreciation as well. So there's that little bit of tidying up that needs to be done. Let's just say you can acquire the same amount of detail as someone with a 6-inch Newtonian. What have you done? All right, you're building this up. I did not catch anything of what Elon was banging on about, or for SpaceX and anything like that. What was I doing yesterday? I missed all of it. So he was just kind of pitching what's next, because they stacked the spaceship, or the starship, right? I read a horror story in Braille. Something bad is about to happen. I can feel it. Mild applause. He was fun to listen to, as always, but yeah, it was interesting, and seeing the full stack was awesome. I did see some of those images on Twitter, and that was looking really cool. And when they do a launch, I mean, that's going to be like an amazing launch as well. And just to see it, how we can only hope that everything is going to go according to plan, obviously. But again, you also have that feeling that, I mean, what could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Like almost everything. You're going to watch it, it was 2 a.m. for you. I still haven't watched any replays, and I know there's no spoilers with that. So if there are any links that you guys have for any kind of interesting sound bites from there, then feel free to drop them in the Discord or drop them in here. We don't really block links anyway. I will trust judgment for now. The second that anybody does blow that, then we have to start blocking links. But other than that, we're always here to learn something new, find out new information, because I am not a human Google. I do also rely on everybody to kind of share the information that you found out throughout the day. We all look at different websites, and there is always going to be a little different tidbits of information, but the most important piece of information for today, most important piece, is this. First photons received on the James Webb Space Telescope. It is not Sunday. It is not the drop game. What are you doing? Bot, you're out of control. That's not it. That's go home, bot. Where do I turn this off? It's somewhere. Wait, let's come back here for a second. Pretend nothing went wrong. I mean, nothing ever goes wrong on here. Nothing. Never. Nope. Nope. Not a darn thing. Nothing. I mean, everything goes completely right. There we go. What's going on, Caleb? How are things? This is the initial alignment mosaic that has come from the James Webb Space Telescope. And I gotta say, overall, it looks like everything's all over the place. It is all, nothing is collimated yet. They are aligning all the mirrors. So the James Webb Space Telescope nearing the completion of the first phase, month-long process of aligning the observatory's primary mirror using the near-infrared camera. The team's challenge was twofold: confirm the near-infrared camera was ready to collect light from the celestial objects, and then identify starlight from the same star in each of the 18 primary mirror segments. The result is an image mosaic of 18 randomly organized dots of starlight, the product of Webb's unaligned mirror segments, all reflecting light from the same star back at Webb's secondary mirror into the near-infrared camera detectors. What looks like a simple blurry starlight now becomes the foundation to align and focus the telescope in order for Webb to deliver unprecedented views of the universe this summer. This summer, coming from James Webb. Unprecedented views of the universe. Over the next month or so, team will gradually adjust the mirror segments until the 18 images become a single star. This is where that whole nanometer movements of all the mirrors comes into play. Now, they've all been put into position, and obviously, as you can see, nothing is aligned. They're all over the place. It is a giant of stars in that image. You went to bed instead of watching a SpaceX event last night. Something like that, I guess, unless you're really in the industry. And, I mean, it's exciting to watch and see what's going on with SpaceX. But there was nothing that you couldn't just kind of catch up with afterward. And that's pretty much what I will do over the weekend, is kind of catch up on those little bits of information and in the news. So we will get up to date on all of that. But it is the coolest thing that has happened. And this is, we've been following Webb for quite a while now and memeing on it and memeing the absolute heck out of James Webb. So the entire Webb team is ecstatic at how well the first steps of taking images and aligning the telescope are proceeding. We're so happy to see that light makes its way into the near-infrared camera. Principal investigator of the Near-Infrared Instrument and Regents Professor of Astronomy in the University of Arizona is Marcia Reiki. So the image mosaic was created by pointing the telescope at a bright, isolated star in the constellation Ursa Major known as HD 84406. The star was chosen specifically because it is easily identifiable and not crowded by other stars of similar brightness, which helps reduce the background confusion. Each dot within the mosaic is labeled by the corresponding primary mirror segment that captured it. These initial results closely match the expectations and simulations. So that's cool. I mean, the fact that they are happy with how things look, not that they looked at this and said, oh my gosh, what's happened? How you doing, little cute girl? Good to see you today. Yes, drops are on for Sundays, or the special streams where we where we totally ruin a perfectly good Lego set. that is not happening today. I'll talk a little bit more about how the cleanup went and just where we kind of discovered pieces. And I think we might be still searching for one piece, and it was a spring-loaded piece. So that thing could be anywhere at this point. Like, I'm checking like rooms in the house that are on the opposite side of the house. Everybody gets one. Yeah, it's somewhere. I haven't seen it. Like, I'll show you guys what the here is. Here is the mess. You wasted the 1F. Well, at least it was, you got it into an achievement though, right? That in itself. But amid the detritus of Lego in this thing is possibly the one piece of the landing gear that I am not sure if we actually picked up. So yeah, it is. We have a combination of. We have this combination of the of Hubble, and fairly, for the most part, this part fell off, and the cover for the primary mirror, and one of the satellites popped off of Hubble. That was about it. And a little later on, I do have one of these slow motion cameras that you guys will watch. That it's not the full video of the whole production that I want to put on YouTube, but I'll show you all what went down in super slow motion of everything that happened. At least with the Smash. We're not going to watch the whole... We're going to watch the whole stream on 1/8 speed. Watch the whole thing in slow motion. The agonizing pain waiting for me to drop this thing. But yes, there is some cat hair in here as well. So I'm not going to include that in the rebuild. But I'm just going to slowly rebuild this, and you can see the progress of things as I'm going along. But I won't really be doing a live stream of this. But I might record the progress of just putting it back together. But so far, everything I've seen, nothing broke. That was the important thing. That nothing was going to snap, and that was very positive. There is the front somewhere of Hubble in here somewhere. Like even the tail section, like that's almost all gone. So there's a lot to clean up from this, but we will get it back together, have it on display. And now I'm remembering doing this. I had a little joke that I wanted to do, but we'll save that one for later. But yeah, that was. I also thank everybody who did tune in and watch it live, and there has been a great deal of different reactions from people who have seen the clip. And I gotta say, I think it was actually CJ's clip that has received like the most views on there. There were a lot of people clipped that instance, but yes, CJ, yours is becoming one of the top viewed clips that I've had ever. So it is fantastic. It is really cool. Front fell off. I'm not surprised. I mean, there was pieces outside of the office. It would put out there. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This was one of those things that if we had a different set, if it was something like our Christmas wreath, would it have been as epic? And why is OBS eating up? What's going on here?
Senator Collins, thanks for coming in.
It's a great pleasure, thank you.
This ship that was involved in the incident off Western Australia this week...
Yeah, the one the front fell off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very typical. I'd like to make that point.
What?
Great pleasure, thank you.
This ship that was involved in the incident off Western Australia this week...
Yeah, the one the front fell off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very typical. I'd like to make that point.
What?
Yes, ships aren't supposed to have the front fall off of it. You know, quite candidly, these things are supposed to stay one piece. I've never seen that one.
How is it untypical?
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I want to steal that clip. What happened to the ship? Well, the front fell off. Oh boy. Hey. Okay, yeah, yes, that's true. It all fell off. This is all we have left. This is all that remains. There isn't one, like, you know, one of the wheels had fallen off as well. What else what's floating around there? Oh, yeah, there's another little piece here. There we go. Yeah. And like the front part, like wherever. See, it's one of these pieces here. One of these spring-loaded shock absorbers has gone missing. I don't think it's in there anywhere. Oh boy. The front fell off. Yeah, see if the cats have seen any of that. Third rock, get mono, they said. Well, you don't want to get mono. Oh, mono camera. All right. It's excellent data, they say. Goes to plan 4-panel mosaic. 28 days later, it would be done. Oh boy. Well, how's the rest of the telescope? They have more. Sarah's been extra jumpy today. She's probably figuring that there's going to be more bits of Lego flying around.
Your name is Roger, yes?
Roger.
Ah, that's your name.
Roger.
Good. And what do you do, Roger?
I'm a financial consultant.
Ah, financial consultant, eh?
Roger,
Yeah,
yes.
Terrific. And Roger, how's business at the moment?
Not bad, thank you. Been a bit quiet lately.
How do you mean lately?
Since the war, been a bit quiet.
Fair enough. Okay, Roger, your special subject tonight is the economies of the European community. Your time starts now. Best of luck.
Thank you.
How much does Greece owe, Roger?
$367 billion.
Correct. And who do they owe it to?
Mostly to the other European economies.
Correct. How much does Ireland owe?
$865 billion.
Correct. And who do they owe it to?
Other European economies, mostly.
Correct. How much do Spain and Italy owe?
$1 trillion each.
Correct. Who to?
Mainly France, Britain and Germany.
Correct. And how are Germany, France and Britain going, Roger?
Well, they're struggling a bit, aren't they?
Correct. Why?
Because they've lent all these vast amounts of money to other European economies that can't possibly pay them back.
Correct. So what are they going to do?
They're going to have to bail them out.
Correct. Where are they getting the money to do that, Roger?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
How much does Portugal owe?
Hang on a minute. What was the answer to that earlier question?
Just keep answering the questions, Roger. Where is Portugal going to get the money it owes to Germany if Germany can't get back the money that it lent to Italy?
Just a minute. What was the answer to the previous question? The question was, how can broke economies
Yes.
lend money to other broke economies
Yes.
who haven't got any money because they can't pay back the money the broke economy lent to the other broke economy and shouldn't have lent it to them in the first place because the broke economy can't pay it back?
You're wasting very valuable time, Roger. How much money does Spain owe to Italy?
$41 billion, but where are they going to get it?
Correct. What does Italy owe to Spain?
$27 billion, but they haven't got it. They're broke.
Correct. How can they pay each other if neither of them has any money?
They're going to get a bailout, aren't they?
Correct. And where's the money coming from for the bailout?
That's what I'm asking you.
Correct. Why are people selling the European currency and buying the US dollar?
Because the US economy is so much stronger than the European economy.
Correct. Why is that, Roger?
Because it's owned by China.
Correct. And very well done. And after that round, you've lost $1 million.
I've lost $1 million. I thought you said well done.
Yes, well done. You've only lost $1 million. That's an extraordinary performance,
I've
Roger.
only lost $1 million.
Very well done.
And that's quite good, is it?
Oh, it's excellent.
Sell everything immediately. Quickly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, those are it's hilarious and it kind of hurts a bit too. Oh boy. See, now I mentioned this before. We have topics to discuss and it goes wonderfully off the rails. Oh, what's going on, SimView? How's he doing? How's it going? They do a great job of poking fun at real life issues. Yeah, as long as you can laugh at it, right? Oh boy. Yes, no, we got to find. We have to play. We have to have the clip of the Lego smashing, and then what was the result? Well, the front fell off. I'll put that in there. I got to write that down, or else I'm gonna forget it. I've already forgotten it. Plucky Prairie Punch. That was almost difficult to say. Hello, how you doing? Just pounced in. I missed who we were watching. That was fabulous. There are links in. Well, yes, yeah, the front. But you can see into it. The front fell off. Oh. There are links above. Where was the... Oh boy, that was that was good. I liked that one. So much so that I dropped them a subscription. How you doing, Plucky Prairie? That's Lego. It's not a link. Please, just click on this. Oh. Oh boy. This was the result of smashing a Lego set the other day. Clearly, there is some reassembly required. What's going on, Doug? How you doing? A few less Starlink satellites to mess up your images. Yes, we'll take this opportunity. Although that's like 40 out of 48. That's got to be tough to... Well, no, it's not. It's Elon Musk. He's already made that money back in like a few seconds. Are you finally decided on your camera upgrade? We went on the 183 MC Pro. Oh, excellent. Excellent, Sim. Looking forward to seeing those images that you get from there. Are you good? Chilling for the weekend? Excellent. Well, wonderful to have you in here. Good to have you, everybody in here today. Those who may be new to the channel, I welcome you in. My name is Tom. I'm the Astro Canuck. Usually, we're taking live images of outer space. However, it is cloudy, so that is a big giant F. There isn't a whole lot that we can see out in the night sky at the moment. But you know what? It is. There's always some good images to look back upon. And actually, I have added the F into our emotes, so that is there. You mostly picked it because you're using the CCD suitability X. That's a fantastic tool as well. That's also why another reason why I decided on the camera that I got for the two telescopes that we're using, because it suited them both very, very well. I figured it worked out so well to have the F in chat, and it was from some while we were calibrating the telescope, the guiding, and we just managed to make an F. Usually you'll get like this little triangle or this little corner. But yes, there we go. We got snow. Oh, we got more snow today. Look, you can barely see the fire pit out in the middle of the field. We got about at least another 10 centimeters today. It was ridiculous. And that's why I was kind of worried about earlier on that we had our satellite TV go out. And I was thinking, okay, well, we got the satellite internet. What's going to be the deal with that? So far, the front fell. Hey, Alex, what's going on? How you doing? How are you tonight? I combined like all the greetings in one there. Good to see you. Yeah, that's our weather for now. But no, we do actually get some better images of outer space when we have some clear skies. There was the possibility that Sunday evening was going to look a little better. However, it's like completely out the window. But I would like to try to get a little more time on this target and also get rid of the satellites that have been missing. I'll be messing around with PixInsight. We'll be doing that tomorrow, but I will be talking a little bit about PixInsight because now that we have our code, so we have 45 days to muck about, and if we do hit our sub goal, then we are going to be purchasing. We're going to use those funds to purchase a PixInsight license, and we'll have our software that we are going to be using that is meant to process images of outer space instead of just constantly trying to bend Photoshop to our will. Yeah, let's see if I can get this. There was So Adorable's drive out this morning. So yeah, we had quite a bit of snow that fell in like a short amount of time too. Just a bit. Just a tiny bit of snow. And if you do notice that the ingenuity of this gentleman driving or having navigating his his cart, he has an umbrella. Well, it's just the horse needs to see it, that's all. As long as the horse doesn't fall off, I think he'll be good. I hope it's not Starlink. You can't get, most of them are dead. We are still on the list for Starlink. Kajad! Well, what happened? The horse fell off. Kajad, thank you very much for the tier 1 resub for 2 months. Howdy and or duty. Well, if we're looking at what the weather was like, there was just a lot of duty out there. Yes, thank you very much. On to the ever-growing pile here. Now, I also, like I said, I need to... There was more tidying this up, but I still haven't tidied that up. So, I guess you need to wait. You need to wait so you are on the top of the pile here. While I'm kind of like we're rambling on about things. Let me just get people on here, shall we? I was drizzling. You're drizzling your data last night. It failed midway through, and it got stuck. And I got to redo the whole thing. Oh no! Really? Dang. So it's like nothing could be that would work. As I come in joke on the channel, the front fell off. It probably will. It doesn't take much. There doesn't need to be a great amount of catalysts. How does one drizzle your data? You just kind of put your thumb over the top and you just kind of let it all... Oh, that way. I just failed halfway through your first channel. Oh. And that was with PixInsight? What, was it just too much data? Maybe if you use data instead. Oh boy. Well, hopefully we're not going to have too many issues with that. But you know, if we reach that goal, PixInsight will become ours permanently, rather than trying to pick a different address and another email so we can get another 45-day free trial. Yeah, only 270 subs. What could possibly go wrong? How long was each sub? 100 of the HA, 03, 10 each of the RGB. Which target were you going after? One of these southern hemisphere gems that we don't have a view for. More dolphin. I just run it overnight. That's what you do. There were a couple of items that I had processed before with my old laptop, and I needed to walk away and not touch the laptop at all because it was just taking up way too much. Chances are it may have. I'm going to have to clip that that video, and then we'll make a command out of it. Also, that we do need to make a command where we're smashing the scope. It needs to be. We need to show that over and over again. As horrendous as it was, I think we need to see that often again. So if it's okay with you guys, with everybody here in chat, would you like to see the super slow motion from our drop? Do you want to see a Lego set absolutely smash into hundreds of pieces Or are you just fine to kind of move on to the next topic and we'll just talk about what next the next Lego build is going to be? All right, so here is our... ago, I was thinking about 2. This is what happened 2 days ago. 2. Wait, we need to have this larger. There we go. 1. I was thinking about 2. 1. Oh boy. So that happened on Wednesday. And like I said, I think I got all the pieces. Psyche spacecraft is launching later this year. Ooh, just to name another topic. It was, I mean, that thing, okay, so I didn't want to just drop it. Because if like 2 pieces fell off, how terrible would that look? I also didn't expect it to do that. To shatter in such a way. 2, 1. The sound. It is horrendous and wonderful all at the same time. So that was our full speed, probably 60 frames per, no, it's like 30 frames per second. That's all I'm running at. We're not doing 60 frames on here. My internet would not be able to keep up. But we have, where is it? Where'd it go? Really terrible. Oh, hey, we're back here now. Wait a second. There we go. All right, let's devil did it go? There we are. Test flight, litho braking. It didn't work. Yeah, it was. I didn't even. I thought we were gonna have like a few pieces to pick up. 3, 2, 4, 3. 2 weeks ago, I was thinking about 2. I couldn't even do it. We had stalled for so long. It is running. It is coming. That was the best footage that we had. Black Cat's Manor, but why? Why? It was because the will of chat. We had a goal, it was set, and I had to answer for it. I put it out there. I couldn't say, well, thank you very much for all the donated bits over this period of the build. But no, this was the result. For those who are weak-stomached, faint of heart, please look away. You have been warned. Somewhere in here, after a while, I'll have to go like back frame by frame and find out where one piece went that landed on my desk. But I mean, it was It's there? Oh, that's everywhere. Life's a journey, not a destination. We're not sprinting towards any goal here. So yeah, let's try something different. Let's absolutely destroy a Lego set. We will rebuild, just not on stream. 66 Brian, okay. If they did the Challenger edition, 100% would not have done this one. But this was Discovery. This was Space Shuttle was retired on the 9th of March 2000 something. 2011, I believe. Yes, it is. Yeah, definitely would not have been if it was Challenger. But yeah, how are you doing? So that was a little bit of a preview. I do have a little bit of a production that's going to go on YouTube over the weekend, and there's just one more thing I need to, just a bit of an intro I want to film for it, and then it is pretty much ready to go. So hopefully, early to late weekend, we'll have this posted on YouTube. And if you are subscribed to the channel, you should get the notification. Or at least you pop back on there and see what's going on. Hey, here's a new video of just the build up to this moment. So those of you who are on stream now, you're seeing it. The only slow motion footage that is out there at the moment. And this was the result. But oops. I really thought that only a few pieces were going to fly off of this. I guess I'm glad I was wrong, but there are pieces I found outside of the office. I head to the shop real quick. No worries, we are here for a while tonight. We have quite a bit to go over. And like I said, with another thing that had endeared me to the Space Shuttle Discovery was the retirement date, and it was on the 9th of March, which is somebody's birthday. Now, we'll put out some more information about this later on, but for the birthday stream, it will be on the 6th. My birthday's on the 9th of March, but we're going to do a subathon on the 6th of March. It is a Sunday, so we'll have on our Lazy Sunday Lego stream. It'll be the Lazy Sunday Lego Subathon stream. And what are the parameters? Well, it'll start off at a 6-hour cap. We will be building Lego, but there are going to be some stretch goals throughout the whole stream. We're going to go as long as 12 hours. If we reach that point. So that is the plan for March. And that's there'll be more details coming on that. I have some rough ideas of what I want to do, some fun things. We'll do a couple of giveaways as well on that stream. And I will also be announcing what we're going to do for our next challenge for the Lego builds. I'm going to leave it for Sunday. I'm going to leave that one till Sunday, so it is more of our Lego theme of what we're going to be doing for the next little goal that can be attained. Contractor called you for fixing a big old hole in your ceiling. How did that go? Where did the hole come from? Water leakage? What time is that? It's every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have our Lazy Sunday Lego builds where we won't be rebuilding this one. I'm just going to be, it'll be in the background while it's being rebuilt. And we have a new set that we're going to be building. But what it is, I'm not going to announce it just yet. We'll save that for Sunday. So, I'll tease things. You got some water from a radiator from the floor above. Luckily, it looks a lot worse than it actually is. Just a plaster had collapsed. All right. Well, as long as that is the only thing that needs to be fixed up. Is that plaster. But let's get everybody else on the spike here, so I can pop Kajad on top for today's sub, bringing us up to not too far away from our goal. Now, whether or not we reach that, I greatly appreciate all the support that is constantly all the support that is given on the channel, and in an effort to bring you guys some more interesting images of outer space and some fun Sunday events, as well as also kind of fueling a bit of the coffers for what we can do for some giveaways as well. As long as everything isn't leaking, then I see that is a big win there. But there we go. That is tidied up. That is cleaned up. Kajad, a proper, thank you very much for the tier 1 resub. On to the spike of appreciation for you. The pillar of happiness. The Rod Stewart. Alex Vixen silently watches Tom impale all the sacrifices. But yes, thank you. A nice clean desk as well. That's also a big thing for me. And not having the spaceship on here, it's a space shuttle. It's a little weird. Well, at least it could be everywhere else. But yes, I'll put some more information up for the 6th of March. Did you just call it Rod Stewart? You just hear that? What are you even going to do now? Well, that will be dictated for what Sunday is going to be, what set we're going to be building. Now, there's also, again, more things we'll talk about for Lego coming up on Sunday. That the order that chat had put in for that other goal, where chat was picking what we pick for purchase for Lego, we will be showing those off. And actually, I'll show one of them because it was like the whole point of what the budget was. For that budget that chat had for picking all these sets, it was to make sure that we had enough in there to get the vintage taxi. This was the gift with purchase, and it is completely sold out now, so I'm counting myself very fortunate that everybody was fairly decisive on all the sets we're going to be adding in there. The desk mat is nice. I like it. I'm a big fan. If you're thinking of anybody's desk mat that you do like on Stream Elements, I would say go for it. As long as the only thing I would say is if only if the images are the right size, because if someone puts an image that isn't 300 DPI, then you're gonna have a bad time. Otherwise, I think it's good quality stuff. You need to finish tweaking calibration on your SCT for collimation. You validated it will be balanced on the GEM 45. Excellent. Do I play STO? If I'm stalling on the acronym. Star Trek Online? That's the only other thing I can think of is a step over toehold, but that probably wouldn't factor into what we're talking about now. But yes, this is one of those gift with purchase sets that we are going to build at another date. And yeah, I think it's a fun little one. It looked really cool. It's actually, like, I think they put it in a little too small of a box. Like, this thing is jam-packed in here. But we will... And it works out that it is in the style very similar to the black cabs that were in London. So again, that little bit of a connection I still have to the UK. Star Trek Online. I've not had a chance to give that a shot. How is it? I mean, I've also barely played Elite Dangerous. We will also be having another stream in a couple of weeks. We're aiming for the 22nd of February. That is a Tuesday. It'll be a afternoon stream, and I'll be joining Nori Kitty, one of our mods and one of our friends on Twitch, and playing a little bit of Elite Dangerous. And other people are welcome to join in if you do play Elite Dangerous. More details will be put out on Discord as the date gets closer. And yeah, if anything does change, I'll try to let you guys know ahead of time. But also, just for a brief touching on IRL things, there may be some times where I may have to cancel some streams and put a hold on things. And I just, I appreciate all the support, and I just hope that everybody does understand that there is things going on with family life right now that is not too favorable. It's not good things right now. So yes, there may be times where there may be unannounced streams canceled. But rest assured, I do appreciate the support that everybody has been giving. If people don't understand, you'll put them in a chokehold until they do understand. We don't need to go that far. Maybe just force them to drop a whole bunch of gift subs. No. But yeah, so yeah, there will be some times where we'll be shifting schedules around. But again, I appreciate all the support and that everybody has given it some offline messages that have come through. But for now, things maintain the way they are. If the front falls off, we'll still be here. I appreciate it. And I thank you guys as well. Even like everybody who comes in here and just hangs out, and even if you don't even chat, if you're just listening and you're not chatting right now, that is totally cool. You know what? If my voice, in some way, shape, or form, is causing you enough of a little bit of serenity, then that's good too. I mean, who couldn't relax to something like this? It's absolutely, I could fall asleep listening to myself right now. It's perfect. Although if you were just listening to things, you think, what the is he doing? Anyway. So yes, more details will be put out about our Elite Dangerous stream coming up.
You should have gone for the head.
Holy
First of all,
potatoes!
including our own son.
By the power of
Eventually, all
Grayskull, I have the mustache.
Mustache? Oh, it's
Even
this
the
one.
energy of that
Yeah.
suit is sapped
Yeah.
away over time by the expansion of the universe, leaving everything
This face is
fractionally
terrifying.
above absolute zero.
This one. This one's ridiculous.
The TGIF, am I right?
What the hell is Jay even going on about? Oh, we reattached the front. That's it. The front is back on. It's perfect. Okay, there we go. That's... Ah!
By the power of Grayskull, I have the mustache.
Well, it's back. We got this mustache back. All right, perfect. Something's gonna happen in like a couple of seconds. The fact that the beard still sticks out from the bottom. I don't even know what one is still going. Do I still sound like I'm muffled? I can't even see if that one's on. Oh, boy. Somewhere you did redeem... Dynamite Sky! How's it going? Well, it's going okay. Well, good to see you in here tonight. Somewhere, redeemed to drink. Yeah, we got hydrate somewhere in there. Let's, where is it? I don't even know where it went. Whatever, I saw it pop up there. You've never had your own command before. Can you have that, please? The front fell off. I don't follow. If you want to use that in if you stream as well, if you want to use that, that's fine. It's not mine. All right, let's get this mustache off here. There we go. Your parrot is looking strangely at the screen. At which one? Which? Oh, was it with the goats? Whenever we have our goats. You need, CJ, to go to bed. Okay, fine. We'll allow you this bedtime, but thank you very much for that tremendous link. This Sunday, you'd be a part of a 5-day raid train he put on Discord. Yeah, for sure. I bid you a very good night and good stream. CJ, take care of yourself. Friends, we're in the Friends of Astro. If we have any stream-related things like that, yeah, just again, even if there's other people that you may have discovered as well, just kind of drop them in there. I do scrub through that channel as well to see who's, pardon me, been doing things. Download it and Discord it. Perfect. Thank you, CJ. Have a good night. Have a very good night, evening. Yeah, we'll see you soon. So again, I'll also be putting up again for the subathon. Some things, like I said, there will be some giveaways that we'll be doing, and some different games that we'll be playing, and possibly a couple of other community games as well. Because if there's the chance that we're going to be going for 12 hours, then there is only so much that I can bang on about. So that is a few things. Some of the stretch goals will be. I think one of them is going to be peel the protective sticker off the side of my PC. I've had it for quite a while now, and I still have the protective film. So those of you who like the very satisfying peeling of film off of acrylic, that would be one of the goals. Because also it's been on there like for so long, and it's almost bugging me too. That is, yes, some of the ideas. Now, also, I've gone back over to, checked over back at Firefox. I do want to finish talking about web, about those first images that have come through. Jumping back to this one. Because the really cool thing was that not only did they have this image that of all the segmented mirrors, taking the image of one star. During the image capturing process that began on February 2nd, Webb was repointed to 156 different positions around the predicted location of the star and generated 1,560 images using the near-infrared cam's 10 detectors, amounting to 54 gigabytes of raw data. The entire process lasted nearly 25 hours, but notably the observatory was able to locate the target star in each of its mirror segments within the first 6 hours and 16 exposures. These images were then stitched together to produce a single large mosaic that captures the signature of each primary mirror segment in one frame. The images were shown here only a center portion of that larger mosaic, a huge image with over 2 billion pixels. 54 gigs, I know, right? It doesn't seem, I guess, although when you're sending it from 1.5 million kilometers away, it's going to take a little while to get that data. So this initial search covered an area about the size of the full moon because the segment dots could potentially have been spread out in the sky, said Marshall Perrin, deputy telescope scientist for Webb and astronomer at the Space Telescope Science Institute. Taking so much data right on the first day required all of Webb's science operations and data processing systems here on Earth working smoothly with the observatory in space right from the start. And we found light from all 18 segments very near the center early in that search. This is a great starting point for the mirror alignment. So each unique dot visible in the mosaic image is the same star imaged by each of Webb's 18 primary mirror segments. A treasure trove of detail that optics experts and engineers will use to align the entire telescope. This activity determined the post-deployment alignment positions of every mirror segment, which is a critical first step in bringing the entire observatory into a functional alignment for scientific purposes, or scientific operations. So that is why, like I said, with those nanometer increment movements to get everything aligned is what's going to take the longest time. So near-infrared observatory's wavefront sensor, a key imager, it was intentionally selected to be used for Webb's initial alignment steps because it has a wide field of view and the unique capability to safely operate at higher temperatures than the other instruments. It is also packed with customized components that were designed specifically to aid in the process. Near-infrared camera will be used throughout nearly the entire alignment of the telescope's mirrors. It is, however, important to note that the near-infrared cam is operating at far above its ideal temperature while capturing these initial engineering images. And visual artifacts can be seen in the mosaic. The impact of these artifacts will lessen significantly as Webb draws closer to its ideal cryogenic operating temperatures. Now, we are not cooling our cameras down to these incredibly low temperatures. We can go to like 30 degrees below ambient, whereas Webb is almost close to absolute zero. So we don't have the capabilities for that here on Earth. Launching Webb to space was, of course, an exciting event, but for scientists and optical engineers, this is a pinnacle moment when light from a star is successfully making its way through the system down onto a detector, said Michael McElwain, Webb Observatory project scientist, NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. Now, this is also like the coolest image that has come out of it now, where Webb actually has a selfie, where you can see all the mirror segments. And I think that it's really cool to see all the single images of the stars on each primary mirror, but to actually see it fully deployed, it's amazing. Like the fact of, we say that, we don't get to see things that are going on, and this instrument was designed to take images of the primary mirror segments instead of images of space. This configuration is not used during scientific operations and is used strictly for engineering and alignment purposes. In this case, the bright segment was pointed at a bright star, while others aren't currently in the same alignment. This image gives an early indication of the primary mirror alignment to the instrument. So that is really cool to seeing Webb fully deployed out in space. Like, it is absolutely incredible. And, the fact that we don't always get to see these images. There was also I don't know if I still have the link open up, for one of the satellites from JWST that had a little selfie robot attached to it as well, where you saw a satellite in orbit around Mars. And that was, we don't always get to see them. It's always a lot of the computer models that are showing what these targets are, or what satellite is going up. So the fact that they had added a little camera, because weight is at a premium on every launch, and you don't want to be adding extra kilos or anything extra that could be used for scientific instruments or just that little bit more amount of fuel. The amount of light reflected from a distant star, like the whole segment is illuminated. Like you're getting all this light from off one of those sections. Now imagine the whole thing being aligned, and it is just beaming this information onto the sensor. So hopefully they still use this camera for other purposes. Well, not for the alignment purposes, but also can we see more information? Like, can we see like little bits of information in the mirrors? Although probably not, because it's not aligned to this camera, but still. The fact that that's on there and we can see the entire array of mirrors on Webb. So moving forward, Webb's images will only become clearer, more detail-laden, and more intricate as its other three instruments arrive at their intended cryogenic operating temperatures and begin capturing data. The first scientific images are expected to be delivered to the world in the summer. Though this is a big moment, confirming that Webb is a functional telescope, there is much ahead to be done for the coming months to prepare the observatory for full scientific operations using all four of its instruments. What's going to happen to the Hubble Space Telescope when it comes to the end of its life? Except it won't be as spectacular. It will be deorbited. It will. They will aim for, like Orion was saying, they're going to aim for Point Nemo. It's pretty much you're as far away from any land mass as possible in the Pacific Ocean. Specifically in the Pacific Ocean, they're pointing it at a very distinct target. Same thing will be done. Will be aimed for the International Space Station as well, and that will be, they're aiming to decommission the space station in, was it 2034? So yeah, there is a special place in the ocean for a lot of the rubbish that is not able to orbit the Earth. So why wouldn't they just leave the International Space Station up there? The International Space Station it has a decaying orbit. So whenever the Soyuz rockets are launched, it does get a boost. So it is put back up into its orbit. The reason it doesn't fall to Earth is because velocity is enough that as it's falling, it's still missing the Earth, and it just keeps traveling around. And eventually it will decay. But while they are still able to control things, that is what is going to keep things clear enough out in space, because if there's a lot of rubbish flying around there, it's moving at like 1,700 miles an hour. So it's not like an easy thing to just kind of pluck out. Steve, how you doing? The truth about Hubble. You're buying it. You're going to buy Steve? Steve is our savior. You're going to buy Hubble. Keep it in operation. Steve, this is the first time we've seen you, but we love you. How you doing today? I thought, why not get like a Kickstarter fund or something, or a crowdfunding, and let's just buy Hubble for ourselves? I mean, how much could it really be to upkeep the space telescope? I'm not sure you're awesome. Well, if you buy Hubble, you're amazing. Well, welcome into the stream. How you doing tonight? We are under cloud cover tonight. Unfortunately, we're not able to take any images of outer space, which is what we like to do here. But we do aim for some interesting targets. We will be doing some cool things. It's used. You have some spare cash kicking around. We can sell time on it. Take over the remote telescope market. Imagine, right? See, we've talked about this before. I think you can fit right in. We want to be able to own Hubble. You're not under clouds tonight. You're undermotivated. Those days happen as well. And I think, there's times when you do need that little bit of a reset. And it's okay to not be imaging, as hard as that is to say. It'll be a sad day for the ISS when it comes back to Earth. It'll be a sad day when Hubble is decommissioned as well, because that's been a part of my whole experience of space for so long now. And then to have that attachment to this telescope, but hopefully everything we start seeing from James Webb is going to be just as interesting, just as captivating. Because it's also the images that we're going to be seeing from James Webb are going to be a little different than what we were used to with Hubble. Hola, Brian, ¿cómo estás? So the majority of images that came from Hubble were in the visible spectrum. So things that you could, if your beat cameras were special enough, you could discern these views. And Brian! Brian the Primate, thank you very much for the 4 months of the Tier 1 resub. Oh, Steve! Well, hang on. I was just about to talk about you. But Brian, thank you very much for the Tier 1 resub. Brick Girl. Steve C137. Good to see you. Oh boy. So, well, for those of you who are really new to the channel, that was a first. But yes, do you have a link?
Holy
Steve?
potatoes!
Have we got a date for Hubble back to Earth? No, nothing like that. So yes, we got Steve in here. Steve from Ontario Telescope and Accessories, who I was a part of the podcast. We did a recording last night. And yeah, Steve, if you have that link, it was a very fun conversation. All right, Lars, you gonna head off? No worries. Have a very good evening. We'll see you soon. Yes. Once again, Brick Girl. Hello, welcome in. There we go. Click that link on the SoundCloud. Go check out the Astrophotography podcast. Quick, what was the drop threshold? 98% or higher. 98% or higher for a drop game on Sundays or Lego specials. You'll get a gifted sub. Within 5 to 10 years max for Hubble. I think they're saying that Hubble might even be a little shorter, but hopefully they can extend its life a little longer to work alongside Webb. At the end of the stream, Astrobuy had a 98% drop right before. Did it? Did I totally miss that one? But yeah, that's the... Yeah, let's copy that. There we go. That is the interview, the podcast that I had with Steve, and it was a fun time. It was absolutely tremendous. Also, the fact that the unbeknownst love of Batman came up. I heard they're going to send a robot spacecraft or droid guided down. The mirror is too large to burn up. If they could really, if they could have any little bit of Hubble back as any kind of, I guess, not memento, but just for posterity. Now we have a little piece of Hubble. We have this piece of Hubble. I mean, the front fell off, but I think we're okay with that. Take this primary mirror. You're willing to sell it as slightly used. Well, I think with you probably get better money for the real Hubble than this Hubble. You're glad with the Webb launch. Conserve fuel better than expected. They're able to add quite a few years to Webb's longevity. Yes, 100% yes. That is so fantastic that we have the opportunity to have more time with Webb. And they're saying initially it was figuring that 5 years would have been the mission, 10 years maximum. But now, because it had everything went so well with the launch, that we were able to get more time. And that's gonna be fantastic. Looking forward to everything that's going to come out. And yeah, there's the link. There's the podcast there. So if you do want to have a listen to it, Steve has some awesome guests on there, and I was very honored to be on this podcast. It was fun. It was really good, and I do hope we get to do it again. But yeah, for the images that have come out from just recently with Webb, and just the fact that we're seeing it, this is, they said, oh, this is your last look at Webb, but no, there's another camera on there, even if it is for the purposes of just make sure the mirrors are all aligned for engineering purposes. We still have these views, and that is what's absolutely tremendous about living in this golden age of astronomy, that we are able to keep up with all this information that is going on. We're experiencing science in real time, and that is just an absolute dream to see. We got here the 98.08. Did it? Regularly scheduled streams. It hurts. Webb needs to take flats. Regularly scheduled streams. Harblets. Regularly 98 point. Oh, you're right. Streams. Harblets. All right. So, to honor that one, we will do a. Yeah, the bot owes a sub to the community. So there we go. Nice. Lars, thank you for keeping me honest about that as well. There we go. And who was the recipient? Stephen McNotreal. Kaya. I was like a minute before the raid. I gotta say, I was exhausted after that stream. But Kaya, thank you very much for the gifted sub to Ida Kim. That's hot. There is the bot's gifted sub to Stephen McNotreal. And also, so for Kaya Strange, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Ida Kim. Another wonderful friend of the channel. We do see her popping in every now and then, which is always good to see. But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Which is getting us. Well, if the bot keeps landing on Sundays, which I guess it is kind of statistically possible. All right, now you're really off. All right, no worries, Lars. Thank you very much. And so we're gonna have some fun. Pardon me, rebuilding that set. Did the front fall off? All of it, all of the front. It was a good Lego set until the front fell off. As long as the front doesn't fall off of web, we're good. But yes, it's yeah, the dust. The unprocessed image, just a single shot. However, that is really cool. That is super awesome to see that. Definitely looking forward to seeing what more is going to be coming out from James Webb in the future. And like I was saying, it's going to be about from launch. They're expecting 6 months up until science begins. And it's going to be another 2 to 3 months for them to get the mirrors aligned. So it's a very intricate and precise process that needs to happen to make sure that everything is working exactly how it should. But yeah, completely looking forward to that. It'll be very exciting. And hopefully as well, we do get the LEGO Ideas James Webb Space Telescope Lego model available. Probably, let's say, end of this year, maybe, if things go well, or early 20, or this time next year, we'll have the James Webb Lego. It is a sun, it is a star that is in there. One of the star was pointing in the area of Ursa Major. Actually, here, let me give 2 seconds here. You know how I say there's sometimes that I forget to do things? It's always this one. Like, I need to automate this, so it will. And it never remembers what size the window was at for Stellarium. Now, I don't have the exact star that they were looking at, but they did have it pointed at a... Actually, no, sorry, we do have the exact star. We do know what one that is. We should be able to search for it. And that should be HD 84406. In the constellation of Ursa Major. Let's turn those on. So it's actually not too far off from where we usually hang out when we're looking at like Bode's Galaxy or the Cigar Nebula. So this is the star that Webb was pointing at. HD 84406. You pick the James. Oh, well, Yes, I need to make if we're going to be building that. I don't know if we would smash that one. Great song, Destination Ursa Major by Superdrag. I've never heard that. Drop a link in the Discord. But 1 degree of modes. Now, I don't think I would have captured this star in a wide field. No, I wouldn't have. But this is the star that Webb was pointing at. And I can see that, yes, in that area that it was focusing on, that it is going to be the brightest star in that field, in that field of view. So it was that star there that was reflecting off of one of these primary mirrors. Which that is really awesome. That is so cool. Now maybe does it get a, can it be, excuse me? Holy potatoes, Kajad! Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Kajad, oh my God, thank you. Posted in Discord. Awesome, Brian. Thank you. Appreciate it. Holy smokes. Kajad, that's incredibly kind. Oh my gosh, thank you. Rip to the printer. Oh my gosh. I have ideas in my mind of what I want to do for things, and it's but I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the update that'll be coming from DJ Teo. Oh, here's another thing. Remind me, or if you guys want to hit it now, the what is that redeem? I want to check. I want to try that out. Next goal is just going to be please replace the poor printer. And yes, we are going to be revealing a large Lego set. Oh my gosh.
Oh, look, there's a red dot where my pointer should be.
Does this
Click
work?
the screen
Is it working?
so Astro knows what the heck you're looking at.
It's working! It's working! .gif. Yes, please, poke my nose. Scratch my nose. It works! It works, it works, it works. Oh, fabulous. Wonderful. Oh, excellent. Okay, it has been a while getting this plugin working again. Oh, this is beautiful. You know, I appreciate everything that is done on here. And like I said, even if you guys just hung out and chatted, it is greatly appreciated. It is my pleasure to be sharing as much information of outer space and giving you good information as well. That's the thing. I don't want to balloon. I don't want to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. I want to have some reliable information. Yes. Kajad, I got to thank you so much. And we will, yeah, well, we'll have a Lego reveal on here, shall we? But thank you very much for the gifted subs, the wonderful donation to Bright Jess, Aaron Brinkerhoff, AA Ron calling in attendance, Alex Vixen getting in on there, Tomo IRL, Abolish, no, Ablobish, sorry, Ablobish, welcome. Welcome in, how you doing today? So adorable. Yep, excuse me, getting in on that as well. You have an app. You have an appointment. All right. If you had a bolt there, Andy, no worries. Barefoot Arky, well, Black Cat's Manor, getting in there. Delicious Foods. Who doesn't love some delicious food? Am I right? Standard average. What is the standard average of delicious food? Pizza. Capone Gaming as well. Also, if you guys haven't checked out Capone Gaming, he is trying his darndest to reach that partner phase, and Bruno he's really cool. It's a very awesome streams on there. Dynamite Sky, as well as Zach M. Rutledge. Zach is another Lego streamer. He is gutted with the drop of the space shuttle. And Damon Lucky getting on there, because y'all, thank you so much. All of y'all on the spike of appreciation. Being impaled on Rod Gilbert. Podcast is up for 15 minutes, 140 unique listens. Awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Steve, that's tremendous. Get in there. What is this podcast we're talking about? I was on this podcast. This one here, the Astrophotography Podcast. Give it a listen. Give it a follow. Check them out on SoundCloud. And also, if you guys are looking for any kind of telescope equipment, go check out Ontario Telescope and Accessories. Please. You know, a shout out there to Steve and all the hard work that he does over at that shop. And, you know, post pandemic problems, I'd love to spend some time there just looking around the shop and see what he gets up to. You have an app we've been using for years to see what's in the sky called Sky Guide. It's an amazing app. There are some awesome apps that are on there. You're very welcome, Steve, and thank you as well for being incredible, dude. Yeah, I will try to turn people over there as best as possible. So yeah, check them out. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being in here today. So we have our spike. You know, let's go check out the Astrophotography Podcast. We talk about everything. Yeah, and somehow we did fit Batman into the whole conversation. So I guess while we're on the topic of Batman, why that had come up is because we're aiming to add one more day of streaming. And what we're going to do is it will be a bit of a kind of a variety day, as it were, because you guys know that I do enjoy playing Elite Dangerous, but as well as enjoying playing with Lego and building Lego sets, space-based as best as possible to kind of keep it within the theme of things. I do enjoy a lot of crafting outside of these things. I've shown that we have, at Mrs. Canuck and I, we have our own side business, and to try to keep things again in the vein of space and astronomy and nerdy things as best as possible. I want to add one more stream to the mix, kind of a midweek thing. Another more of a unless you have clear skies, then everything is completely thrown out the window, and we're taking the cover off the telescope and showing you guys images from space, not from. If we were imaging from space, then we would have Hubble in our grasp. I hope this is the year you're able to start buying some serious astro equipment. You've just finished school, have job offers that have a promising paycheck, so for once in your life, you're able to really start funding your astro hobby. I mean, that's got to be a good feeling as well. I mean, congrats on finishing school and getting into the job world and making that astro imaging drip. No, it's. And you know, the thing is, you can start at almost any level, and you pour yourself into what gear you have, and not for the sake of the grind of astrophotography, because at that point, it is, you know, it's the grind. You don't want to be grinding all this. You want to be enjoying the night sky as best as you can. Graduated first in your class, total nerd style. Boom, awesome, tremendous. Congrats. So we have some crafts, and it is similar to Lego, but it works in the vein of pixel art. And The fact that also it is possibly a little cheaper than Lego, and I would be happy to sell these. I want to make some creations as well as just kind of getting used to it. Crafting ghost pepper peanuts. Oh no, I saw ghost peppers in the fridge today. I'm thinking, ooh, what are we gonna do with those? I gotta harvest the seeds out of one of them at least. Probably smart, to be honest, because doing what you did was unwise to your blood pressure. Yes, however, Kajad, you got rid of the gremlins. You know what's going on with it. You had those victories as well. That's the other important thing. As long as you're able to get those, the satisfying moments with astro imaging. Never had a ghost pepper. Your digestive system trembles at the thought. It has an interesting flavor. It has a very distinct burn. I've noticed now, after sampling a few different types of hot sauces and hot peppers, there is a distinctive burn with ghost peppers. Whereas there is like quite literally there's like this initial sting from a scorpion pepper. Ghost pepper has this strong impact right at the beginning. And it doesn't last too long. A fresh ghost pepper lasts about 12 minutes before it starts to subside in my mouth. Before the burn starts to go away. The Reapers, at least with the hot sauce that I've had with the Carolina Reapers, they are they're like a cauterizing flavor. The Reapers are they are a sustained burn. And this sauce doesn't hit right away. It actually it's very deceptive, where you think, oh, this isn't too bad. It's actually I was actually the first time I tried it, I was almost disappointed. I'm thinking, these aren't Reapers. And then a few seconds later, that burn starts. It's tasty. It's a flavorful sauce, but oh my goodness, they last. So the one thing we were looking to add is, like I said, a bit of a variety stream. Either going to be some gaming or it is going to be some crafting. And what I found, and I have to grab another box because we also need to unveil the Lego set as well because we hit this goal. Actually, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds, and there's a delay before noticing your teeth fillings melting. Yes, there is. All right. Yeah, let's do the Lego set first. Let's get that on there, and I'm going to go over to let's look at web selfie again, shall we? So yeah, let's let's unveil the large Lego set. So nothing here. Large Lego set. We met that goal. Greatly appreciated. Let me grab that. It'll be a bit of a chair hype. Em is me. What's going on, Em? How you doing? Astrocraft Nuck? Yes. Yes, indeed. Because I enjoy that. That's the other thing is, like, I love astrophotography. I love Lego, but I also love to be crafty. Yeah, Em, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Start dramatic music. Dramatic. Do we have dramatic music? What do we have here? We have some. Let's do this again, shall we? Dramatic music for Lego. wrapping up the day. We had to support the idea. Well, excellent. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sort of relaxing. Sounds like something you have on your Pandora station. Good to see you here. That's also. Sounds like you're on a show. Check out Emma's knee. She does some amazing crafting. I've seen some of the leather work that's been done. It's wonderful. All right, that's you're most welcome. This is I'm going to be the extended drum roll here. Extend the drum roll because this ta-da. Okay, oh wait, let's hit the right button here. So because we reached another goal, we reached our sub goal, which is our our Lego based sub goal. This one's interesting. I don't know if anybody would have thought this would have been on the radar for an upcoming Lego build. This is one of our larger sets that we're going to do, and again, keeping it as in the theme of space, under the guise of this is B, sharing some interesting builds. And this is probably the most colorful set that we will have ever built here. It is the Monkey Kid Galactic Explorer. It's a space shuttle. It's a spaceship. I'm counting this one. So what is Monkey Kid? I have no idea. But there was a spaceship. I think this is going to be a really fun build. This is like it's like just off to right field with this one. Still space based. But the colors look awesome on here. It looks tremendous. So, yes, that is what we're going to be building on a future stream. So I also thanks Kajad very much for getting us to this goal. Do I ever build model rockets ones that actually fly? I used to. I gotta say they were incredibly basic things. But no, it's they were fun. I gotta say a lot of G.I. Joes almost possibly thought about going into orbit with those. But this looks cool, and the fact that we still get a lot of minifigures in here as well. I wonder if those would be fun builds for a stream. You know what, Brian? We have the space here. I gotta say, that is not a bad idea at all. I think that'd be incredible. I love that. Actually, I love that idea. As long as I don't burn down the forest, I think we're good. Maybe we'll kind of put that as in the summertime we'll start thinking about that. Put it as a community, just a channel point goal. Do you want to actually see a rocket launch? Simple these rockets. Like all sorts of, okay, see, Brian, I'm loving this idea. Getting cameras to track it. I have to get some help to do that. Oh, that'd be so cool. Sloan. Hello, Sloan. Good to see you in here today. We have just unveiled one of our latest large Lego sets as we hit our goal. And that is absolutely tremendous. Also, we have hit this goal. So when that 45-day trial is up with our Pixin site, we will be purchasing the license to properly process pictures of space. It's so good every time. Your name just lends itself to that. Just the Sloan. I think your 45-day Pixin site trial is over. I was getting worried about the time it was taking them to get back to me, because last time you have to have a license to take space pictures. No. Anybody can freely do that. It is the processing program that is used. Usually we're using Photoshop. Again, that one is a paid program as well. But Photoshop, we are always tweaking the settings within there to process the images. And PixInsight, and there's another one, AstroPixel Processor, is another program that is designed to cater to the requirements for images of space, so it can help clean up your images that much better than Photoshop could ever do. It took me like 3 to 4 days to send you the info for the trial. Yeah, same here. It was almost nerve-wracking. I'm thinking, uh-oh. Because I remember a while back that I had requested a trial, and that was during the move from the around the UK, so we had a lot of things were kind of getting packed up, and I didn't have the time to start processing with PixInsight. So now that we're on this path to PixInsight, and we'll take more time with it. And am I going to be a master at PixInsight? Absolutely not. But I'm excited to get into it. And I figure as long as I have that attitude, we'll get there. 45 days is the trial period that you get, and that's all. You don't really get that much time with a lot of these programs. So that is it's tremendous. PixInsight seems very specialized. You want to learn it. Though you have to say Photoshop has been your go-to program for decades now, since Photoshop 4.0. Samesies. It's like going to Photoshop, and it's like I know where to go for all the tools. PixInsight is not as intuitive, although you can create your own workflow, and you can follow that way. I was in the UK. I lived in the United Kingdom for 10 years. And that was back in 2011. Mrs. Canuck and I moved there for a short little trip, short little 2-year work visa, and eventually it led to becoming British citizens. And so we are dual citizens of the United Kingdom and Canada. It was an incredible time over there. Wouldn't trade it for the world, but it was time to get back to our home and native land. And I gotta say, the way how everything progressed, it was a very trying year. The whole time of just trying to sell a house in the UK, you don't sell your house in the UK. It was interesting, to be polite, but no, that kind of this whole path has led us to here, to this area. Almost no light pollution. You'll see something maybe out to the north, a little bit of light coming off of there, but once it's below the trees, we don't even shoot that low anyway, because I'm going to hit other trees in the area. So to have this opportunity and to better share the night sky with everybody, which is the whole purpose of why I've started this Twitch channel, is to utilize the telescopes and cameras that I have at my disposal that we have acquired over the past 4.5, almost 5 years now that I've been doing astrophotography. It's like this culmination to start going forward with everything that we wanted to do. Like the ideas that we've had and wanting to open up our place for star parties as well. You walk outside during a new moon when the sky is clear, it's dark, it's cool out, and you can see the Milky Way with like within minutes from being outside, if that. So that I'm counting myself incredibly fortunate over, and just wanting to share this experience with everybody as best as possible. UK weather stinks. It was for when I said, oh yeah, I'm doing astrophotography. Oh, whereabouts you living? Oh, I'm in the UK. And people are like, why? Well, I know we have rain 422 days out of the year, but when we did have some clear skies, it was good. I can say where I was. I was in the county of Essex. I was close to the eastern seaboard, so I was close enough to be able to drive for maybe 40 minutes at most and be in very, very dark skies. But I didn't really have a portable rig so much, and the time that I really did try to do that, one time failed spectacularly. I had taken a trip when it was an early morning time, and it was a conjunction with Venus and Jupiter. They're going to be up early in the morning. And I drove out to the coast, and it was actually very creepy when you're looking out over to the English Channel, and you can hear the waves crashing, but you just can't see anything amid the black abyss. And it was unnerving, actually. But it was just me out there. Nobody else was going to be getting up at that ridiculous hour. So I got all the telescopes set up. I took some images of the moon, and about 5 in the morning, the conjunction was supposed to be visible at about 6 a.m. Or about it was about 5:30. 5 a.m., a giant floodlight turns on from one of the pubs that was behind me that I didn't know of, and just flooded the whole area. I lost all my night vision. My eyes were no longer dark sky adapted, and the battery died on my telescope, so I couldn't even track. And I'm looking out towards the east, where the planets would be rising, and there was clouds. So those things happen when nothing goes right the whole night. Now, that didn't deter me from trying again for other occurrences. There was the taking some images of Mars at opposition, and that was like the only time I've done planetary imaging as well. I don't say I was actually successful. Was this the Jupiter? Was it Jupiter and Saturn? Or was it Jupiter and Venus? The way how they were in the sky. I want to say Venus was a part of it. This was a few years ago now. Probably edging toward like 3.5 years ago. Now, if I'm saying it was the wrong conjunction, then that's all right. Then I will double check on that and then correct myself. But that's my only process of Mars that I've ever done. Whether or not it's actually accurate, because at opposition, there was still a large dust storm. Jupiter and Saturn were like 1 to 2 years ago. So there was there's Jupiter and Saturn on close to Christmas last year, where they had that conjunction, where they looked very close. I did cover that with Astro Addict with Tim Richter out in Germany. We had a bit of a dual stream, a joint stream actually, and just kind of watched some of the other footage. Talked about what was going on with the conjunction. Spectacular fails at 5 a.m. Biography of an astronomer. Everybody will relate to that. It's just like, oh, I've read this story. I know what this is about. UK is going down the pan as they bump up the house prices. I would like to know which houses those were going up with. Certainly wasn't ours. You want to go to Barbados, like James Peach does. They do planetary images with a 14-inch SCT. I would love to be able to, I would like to do some destination photography. However, I feel like you do need to plan for like quite a bit of a stay, unless you know that it's an area where you're going to have like consistent clear skies. Now, I know there's a lot of places out in California where we have Dustin Gibson with OPT telescopes. It is, they have fairly decent weather like all the time. As before that, your old Orion manual scope. The conjunction. All right. Your former co-worker recently went to the Mauna Kea observatories and got to do a star tour with 11-inch SCT. Oh, See, I would love to have a looking through a large telescope. I think the largest scope I looked at Jupiter. Damn goats. I looked at Jupiter through at maximum it had to be like an 8-inch or 11-inch reflector. And it was cool. Right, M? Get in there.
Oh, okay.
Don't spill too much food, although there probably is a couple of chicken wings hiding in there. But yeah, no worries. Thank you very much for joining. Glad to see you in here. You almost pulled the trigger on an 11-inch SCT, but you really shouldn't. Just depends on how many kidneys you're going to sell. Oh, boy, I almost knocked over the coffee. And then you found out about 14-inch SCTs. Why get an 11-incher when you can do 14? All right, so the other bit of crafting that we're going to be doing for some extra streams is doing some perler. I create cross stitches. I love the idea of pixel art. And something like this, I mean, it's Batman for Pete's sake. I love Batman. So I'm going to have some other projects on the go. And I think this will be fun. It'll be a little cheaper than Lego, but I think it's also a bit of a similar effect. Because I love pixel art, and the finer that you can do things, the more you can reduce an image and still have it representing exactly what you're looking at. I love that idea of a very detailed pixel art on the smallest scale possible. You're surprised there aren't many 16-inch SCTs anymore. Everything is now 14 or under now. Maybe is it just the production size that it wasn't good for the commercial market? You have just the time. It's 2 a.m. You're going to go to bed. No worries, Andy. Have a very good night. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate being here. We look forward to seeing you on the next stream. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not finishing. Andy's going off to bed. I'm not wrapping up yet. There's still more things we're talking about. Mead used to have a 22-inch one. The thing was ginormous. Well, I mean, I'm looking at the size of the 8-inch telescope I have. And again, when I unboxed it, I'm thinking this is freaking huge. And I'm thinking, and it's also like you have 11-inch Rosses, you have 14-inch Rosses, you have 32-inch Rosses. It's like, holy potatoes, they're massive. Aaron, what's going on? There's a shutting. See, but we couldn't rebuild this one. These are all sealed with heat. The 14 inches, holy. But this is then again, some other things. And I like this one because you don't have it's got a little cap on it. So it feels a little more like Lego. Again, a little cheaper. Something that I would like to design and sell just on our Etsy site as some artwork, you know? Not another shuttle. No worries, Blocksmith. How you doing? We're not shattering that one. We're not doing that. Actually, we do have, if you want to see, we have, for everybody here tonight only, until the YouTube video is released, we have our slow motion from the smashing. I get a photo. Yes. No. Yeah. Bring that up. Should have warned those to look away if you have a weak stomach. But that was the result of the smash in super slow motion. Although I do have something that I can slow down a lot more, but we'll save that for the YouTube video. Because NSF, I should have tagged this as 18 plus, or just not suitable for anybody. But I mean, it was spectacular. I didn't even think it was going to do that, honestly. It was satisfying. I would have been very remiss if only like a couple port if like the nose cone fell off. Pardon me. You live near Washington, D.C., and it's fun going to the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum to see all the Apollo space capsules, the Shuttle Atlantis and the SR-71 Blackbird. I love the SR-71 Blackbird. It is by far the most amazing aircraft ever built. I have to keep looking over at yours to make sure it's still intact. I will do this so you know that your space shuttle is safe. I will do the difficult work to provide some semblance of entertainment. I mean, look at my feet. I wear socks. Imagine that. But some of those pieces, the parts of the nose cone, were out of the office. So, like this thing, like pieces went everywhere. It was incredible. It was amazing. So, little bits of art that I want, some pixel art based off of some of our photos that we've taken. I have an idea for a moon image utilizing either Lego. The mosaic image of the moon that I wanted to do with Lego was going to cost about $400. That's edging towards like telescope equipment. So something like this is a little more affordable. It's a little more fun. It's crafty, and I love doing things like this. So yeah, we'll add some crafting streams midweek and see how it goes. Add a little variety. Also, kind of sharing more of what I'd love to do, and these can lead into other types of designs that I would like to work on. The carpet is never safe to be barefoot again. I know, right? It's treading very carefully because I believe there is probably still one or two more pieces. Like there's most of this. I think there's one spring that's missing. Hubble was relatively all right. Like the back part had popped off, the front fell off, and otherwise, I mean, thankfully, these pieces remained largely unscathed. That was a bit of a concern as well, that maybe we should have taken these panels off, but I'd already kind of removed our solar panels from Hubble. I did not want these to get bent, because how long it would take for Lego to send these out, and if they load it in like an envelope and it's just like a flimsy thing that it still gets bent, then who would put fragile things, bendable things, in a envelope that isn't cardboard backed that could get ruined in the mail? Hubble may need a mirror grind. This looks okay. I think we're all right there. Wherever the cover is in here somewhere. Is it? No, that's not it. That's one of the boosters. But like the back engine, those are all over the place. Suffice to say, everything was all over the place. That is, holy potatoes, that's huge. Which one is that? Is that the what size is that one there, Kajat? That's a 14-inch telescope. Like, look at the size of the Batinoff mask as well. Look at this. 4 counterweights. I'm assuming those are all. Gosh, are they 5 or are they 10 kilo counterweights? The optical tube assembly is 21 kilos. Boy, oh boy. There I was thinking that the the RC8 that we're using is like 6.5 kilos. Batinoff mask or a grill plate. You some fancy grill marks on your steak. Dew shield. The dew shield is massive. Like you're not going to put any Velcro on that one. You got to look at it, screwed right in there. Sadly, that Celestron mount is not very good. Spending that much money, you get the Orion mount, which tracks much better without the belt problems. So I've never. Let's see. Here's the other thing: is I don't have enough experience with a variety of mounts, and I would love to be able to even just to try some out. Like again, going back to the kind of like the telescope, not an exchange program, but like a rental program. And I guess obviously the only thing is that you can't guarantee that you're going to have clear skies, but just so we're not forking out so much money at a time and then almost regretting some of the purchases. I mean, you guess, but you're still dropping $20K on all that. I mean, that is a very expensive setup. And is that their guide scope? And are they using it for planetary with one of the tinier ZWO cameras? Orion has such a great system for the mouse with the SIN scan. See, I'd like to try some out. But again, who am I to not demand, but just ask? I don't know. You're looking to get the scope for a long time. You decided it was more of your passion. You're going with a 14-inch Dob with tracking. I mean, I like the when I was first getting into astrophotography, or even just picking out a telescope. A lot of people were saying, get a Dobsonian. It's a large aperture, but it's easy to kind of track, or not to track, sorry, but at least to find your targets, and you'll see more than you would with most of the other telescopes. Problem was, the house I lived in the UK was like the size of a postage stamp. So putting a Dobsonian in was really not an option. And I guess as the equipment accumulated, it did start to take up a lot of space in the house. However, it was modular, so I could hide things under the stairs. We just push Harry out of the way and it was fine. So we would put the telescope equipment there. But if you had like a big Dobsonian, there was only one space where it could go. And there's only so many times you can avoid getting wet when it's sitting in the shower. You really don't want to go bigger. If anything, you'd want to go smaller on the mount. And maybe people do want portability. Like something like this, you are going after some deep sky objects. You're going planetary images, and you want as best the tracking as you can, because obviously you increase that focal length, you are amplifying any of the errors that are going to be occurring in your mount or your guiding program. But wide field is very forgiving. It is a little, your polar alignment doesn't have to be bang on. You can get away with a little bit of a rough alignment. Well, not the best alignment. Like I had the Star Adventurer. I never had the Pole Master, but it was, as long as you were in the vicinity of where Polaris should be. You're happy with your 61 millimeter. You do have a C8, but you don't use it. See, it's the headaches that kind of come along with it. If you are fine, I like to have a good stretch of clear skies if I'm going to be tinkering with the equipment. Otherwise, I try to get it set up to a point where everything is working with a little bit of adjustments here and there, but nothing where we're getting doing a deep dive into everything. What's going on, Mr. Richard? Which mount is that? Which one is that? Is that the Celestron CGXL, or am I way off with the mounts? This one actually, it looks beefier than I thought it was. Oh, it is a CGXL. Okay. There's some retaining something on the different mounts. But isn't the tripod itself alone just 100 pounds? Or is it 40 some odd kilos? I would say pier as well, but I'm looking at the cover on here. I'm almost thinking tripod. No, the Beast, not something that's totally portable, but you have that's the other thing, is there are a lot of, it's try and keep astrophotography accessible to everybody. We're not, things happen. you get injured. And also back injuries are terrible because you can't see that you have a back injury. You can feel it, and it can really start to crop up and ruin your imaging time. It's a good workout. I mean, who gets jacked on astrophotography? Am I right? And it looks like they're using the one of the Prima Luce computers on there. That's why you climb rocks. I don't have any rocks here. I spent 5 years looking at that exact scope. So you can mount your 14-inch OTAs by yourself. I was the first time I mounted the telescope. The first time I put the telescope onto the mount, our RC8, I had the legs were completely extended. I had the pier extension. It was basically over my head the whole time for the 8-inch scope that we have right now. And it was a little awkward, and I almost got to the point where I'm thinking, oh boy, I think I need to... I'm almost stuck in a position, sitting down here, trying to have that enough leverage to get it onto the mount. We got there. It was very awkward, but we got it assembled. Rock climbing is merely a means to an end, aka getting larger scopes. Much like how, as much as we like to collect Lego, we also like to collect kidneys so we can buy more telescopes. It's good to have a variety of scopes if you can afford it. Having a big one is good to compensate for manhood problems, and then more portable ones that you can travel with in the field and set up on short notice. See, I loved the Star Adventurer for that I could take it out, slap the camera, this camera, can't do that now, on there, and be imaging for a little, just a short amount of time. You get like a couple hours out of the batteries, and a nice wide field image. You can process it fairly well. I like to try to get more time on it, but it largely stayed in my backyard for the most part. I only need one kidney to climb. Well, you start with one. But then, kind of like Pringles, you just got to be able to get more of them. Be able to share images. But I do like the idea. There was almost like, it was like, I don't want to call it like a super portable setup, but it did involve which mount was it? It was small. It was still it could still track on the right ascension and the declination. Was it the Skywatcher AZ GTI? That's what I was thinking. It was a small mount. It could be very super portable. You pair that up with like a Red Cat and the ASI Air, would work out very well for almost a grab and go. You're wondering if you could sell your pancreas about a week ago. Well, I mean, if you don't need it, maybe somebody else does. You got a 10-inch Dob you've taken out to the Sierra about 30 times. You've taken it out to Oregon for the eclipse of 2017. Definitely a portable scope. If Dobs aren't incredibly heavy, are they? It is mainly you have like your mirror, your primary mirror at the back, but that's basically the majority of the weight, right? Are there any astronauts in that bucket? No, there are absolutely no astronauts in here. Rowdy. We're all good. It's a 40-pound OTA. Okay, well, that's getting up there for the weight, but if you still treat that as a portable scope, go for it. But how's it going, Growdy? Good to see you. Right, I almost had a tangent. I was almost there with something. Don't know if I not a tangent, a segue. Ooh, speaking of terrible segues. So yes, we have our pieces of the space shuttle. we did reveal our large Lego set. You want the 14-inch collapsible Orion dog with tracking. How much do those ones go for? Okay, so we will be building this one eventually. We did reveal that. 2,500. That doesn't seem too bad for a 14-inch. So we will be building this Lego Monkey Kid Galactic Explorer because it's still a spaceship and it counts. Let's see. Ooh, hello. I had written in what else we were going to be chatting about. Dobbs best bang for your buck for visuals anyway. And that's a lot of people were saying when I was looking to get into. I went to a star party and looked through a bunch of different telescopes, and that's where I got the first picture of the moon. And a lot of people were saying, oh yeah, just get a Dob. A lot of people was like, just get binoculars. I'm thinking, well, binoculars aren't a telescope. I wanted to buy a telescope. But yeah, if you're more into looking at visual targets, then yeah, Dob is pretty much going to be the best way that you can go for a scope. And again, you get a lot of telescope for your money. Ah. So you hate Grouty. I see the message in there. Yeah, I hate winter as well. I mean, look at all this. That's not snow. There's your snow. We got an extra 10 centimeters today. It's all I feel the frustration on that one. We had we had more snow. Yeah, it is. Well, we have our. Where is it? Hang on. There we go. We have the Fs for no stargazing. Fs in chat for absolutely terrible weather. We do have an F emote now. So hopefully it Sunday night was looking half decent, but unfortunately it wasn't. It doesn't look like any of the weather is improving for us at the moment. Let's get the yeah, here's what our weather is looking like right now. So possibly Tuesday. If this kind of gets pushed back a bit, although we are at a 100% full moon. So little bat in your roof is still alive, it seems, which is good, making a big old fuss at present. Well, hopefully as long as you can get them safely out of there. But also, doesn't bat guano really start to ruin your but your room is in that room. Ooh, okay, well, you want to get them out. Is that PhD2 calibration? That was when we were doing the calibration with the ASI Air, and I can't remember what the heck I did to get it to do that. But we're taking it. We got our F. We got a bunch of Fs. So I'm also going to incorporate this image whenever we have enough Fs in chat. Hopefully it'll calm down. So it's hibernating, so either it'll die or clear out when it warms up. Well, hopefully it just clears out. If it is just hibernating. Do bats hibernate? They do, right? Bats make you think of the Die Double Bird from Ace Ventura. I remember seeing Ace Ventura in theaters. Where he just keeps keep waking up due to the noise there. Just put some padding. I don't know. I never had an inadvertent pet bat before. In Austin, Texas, they have a bridge that more than 1 million bats live under, and every night after sunset, they all fly out to the same hunt for food, which looks super cool. Ooh. I bet that does. We saw, we were in Malaysia a few years ago, and there were, I guess there were fruit bats or flying foxes, and it was incredible seeing them come out at night. Like, it was just this whirlwind of bats flying around. I don't have any public video of it, but it was an absolutely incredible thing to see with all these the bats coming out at night and just circling, and then they all just buggered off and went to their wherever they had their sources of food. I caught one up there last year. It came through the skylight, the best you could tell. But since you're the beekeeper, you're well equipped to handle it and get into a carrier, so you release it that evening. There we go. There's and we have, I think all of our hives were cleared out. So I think they're going to, I don't know how did they just bring in a new queen? Because, you know, right now, like I said, our hives are empty. I don't think they, I don't know how well the bees survive, because it was like, we're getting down to like minus 30. So would a clump of bees still be able to keep the queen alive at those temperatures? That's one. I don't think you can see them. They'll bring packages. Yeah, we can't see. It's just off to the left behind that the big tree where we have our hives back there. So it'll be a queen and a few thousand workers. I think they said a lot of the hives in the area did die off. So there was some time that was needed to, I guess, reset everything. So right now, all the hives are going to be back in a central area, and they said if they do start to swarm, then they'll move the hives around again. I can hear them if you put your ear against them. Haven't gotten out that far. There is, like, actually, I took out, we've moved our compost bin, and it is now a little bit of a tiny trek outside. The snow is almost up to my thighs. So, yeah, I'm not trudging out there right now. Your hive is, against all odds, still alive. Well, excellent. Gonna be warm tomorrow. Hoping you have bees popping out popping or pooping? Do they just kind of like stick their stingers, their butts out and just kind of clean things out? No, forget it. I've seen a bee poop once. It was life-altering. The queen needs to lay their eggs. The drones go out and gather the Marines for the face huggers you've seen in the movie. Oh, you typed it correctly. They don't poop in the hive. Really? So when it gets warm, they fly around near the hive and it gets gross. Ooh. Ew. I did not. The new fact of the day. Bees will not poop in the hive. You have a white car. It's going to be covered in bee poop. And it is like, it looks almost like pollen, doesn't it? It is kind of like a golden-ish. Yeah. So it was funny when I just, by chance, there was a bee in the house, and this was back in the UK. Just kind of looked over, and like, wow, I didn't know I needed to see that. Who would have thought that seeing a bee poop would have been a little bit of brightening of the day. Right, so we were looking at the JWST news, And we did talk about the birthday subathon that'll be coming up on the 6th of March. And because during the week, it's like during the week, so I figured if we do our Lego birthday subathon, and more details will come out on that later on in the coming days, in about a week or so. It's important not to confuse the honey and bee poop. No. Put it on your toast. Oh my gosh, this toast tastes. Still cracks you up to this day when he went out and helped a friend of yours pick up his bee packages. It was his first year beekeeping, and this old dude was giving a demo on how to install packages. See, do they come in like a little box or what? What's happened to our Discord? That was weird. Is my internet conking out? I don't know. But no smoke, no syrup to keep the bees from flying. Kind of crummy weather. So he thumped them to dump them in the hive, and they went everywhere. And it seemed like it was starting to rain a bit. People were like, "Oh no, it's raining," and I just laughed and went, "No, it's not rain." Eee. Brian, it's your fault. Seriously, what the devil happened there? All right. All right, what are we talking about? We were talking about the subathon coming up, new stream day. I didn't say what day it was, but it was more of the content that we'll be doing. People were like, yeah, their own. They were sassy too because of the weather. So bees don't. How do bees act in rain? They don't. Oh no, it wasn't raining. It was just they're just pooping. You're having a good chuckle until one gal came in hot and immediately stung me on the ear. Ugh. I have avoided bee stings for quite a while. However, I think I would like to help out with the beehive. So imagine I'm going to be enduring a few stings. And then you're just like, yeah, you can show the rest. Oh, perfect. Telescope equipment. And I just getting used to stung. It isn't too bad. I guess I think the last time I was stung by a bee, I was a kid. And even then, I don't even think I was like completely. Like they just, yeah. But I imagine we'll feel the sting. 2 things that are true in life: if you wash your car, a bird is going to poop on it, and if you take your telescope out, clouds will move in. These are true words. These are facts. These are 100% scientifically backed, empirical evidence. No, it just happens too often. That's why you just don't wash your car anymore. Easy peasy. Birds don't want to dump on that. All right, so yes, there is a little bit of new telescope equipment that is coming in. We do have a new filter that will be arriving in a few days. Shiny cars are like bird laxative. I can speak words. Maybe I don't have enough coffee. But we do have a new piece of equipment that will be arriving in a few days. It is a filter. And it's one filter that we've been having an eye on for quite a while. Now, I think what we will be able to get out of this one is to really get some defining images out of some of these nebulous targets. And I know we're kind of edging into galaxy season. But right now there's still a great deal of nebulous targets that are available for us. Now, I don't have it here. So there's nothing to show at the moment. It is en route, but we will be getting an Optolong L Extreme, which is I've been jonesing to get one of those and to see how much more detail we can get out of our nebulous targets with that filter. And also compare it against the tri-band filter that we've been using, the Altair Astro, and really just using a dual narrowband filter. You really need to get your SCT calibrated and ready. I think I feel like I need to check out collimation on my, on the RC scope. But for the most part, everything still looks all right. Everything still looks good. But I feel there's still a little bit of maintenance that needs to be done after the amount of travel that this scope has done. But yeah, we will be getting the L Extreme, and definitely looking forward to getting that out there. If all things told, the weather is going to start to improve. Now that might not be the case. We don't know. Get a tri-Batnoff mask. I'd never heard of those before until recently. There was a image. Where did I see it? Somebody had posted an image of the what was possibly from the tri-Batnoff mask. And you get like 4 diffraction spikes and like 3 in the middle. Like you get quite a bit of calibration available. And you give mine a whirl when it gets in, let you know how it goes. I'd be interested to see how much more accurate you can get with your focus. Planetary imaging, you want to calibrate before every use. Well, at least we're not doing planetary imaging. Maybe that's why I don't do planetary. There's just so much that you need to do beforehand. But no, it's if we had ideal world having dedicated setups, so we would have our planetary setup, and we would just go after the planets or go after some really deep sky targets, some of the smaller planetary nebula. And then we'd have our wide field setup. We would have our GOAT setup. We'd also have our mid focal length where we can get
You should have gone for the head.
So, the lights come on midway through this redeem when the screen is still dark for you guys. It still throws me off whenever that happens. I don't know why. The lights dim, but then while the 5 years later pops up, the lights come back on in here, and it's still, oh, is something else happening? Why I forget the sequence of events that happened with the point redeems. Now, there's another idea that I had where it's almost like a super snap, where it's not just, I'm not just going to come back after the 10 seconds, where you guys are going to have to assemble the Infinity Stones. How that is going to work right now, I don't know yet. But I want, maybe we'll end up changing the snap to something different, to a different kind of reward, because there'll have to be something that chat is going to have to do to bring back the stream. If we're dusted, if we encounter the blip. How that's going to work at the moment, I'm not too sure. Level 5, I'm trying to bring it back. That's genius. No. It's something attainable, but still not completely simple. But the wheels are turning on that one. What we can do with it. And I think with a lot of the programming that can be done within StreamRobot, I feel it is possible. We can do something cool like that. Extend the idea, even though what I've kind of done now. Whether or not that is going to be easy to execute, because there's still other ideas that I haven't like there are a lot of ideas that kind of start bumping other ones, and I'm like, no, let's get this done first. Let's get this all figured out. I see if someone on Fiverr can put one together. I feel it is very specific. I know there's a few people I can call upon, or at least I hope I can ask them just some quick input. But there's a lot of people out on in the StreamerBot Discord who can probably, without like, I don't want to like. I guess for the most part, even if more people start doing something like that, then that's cool, because how much overlap do you get with certain streams? But it's the ideas that are there. I don't want, there's things you don't want to give away like too quick. And then there's other things, if I don't get specific with it, then really how else are we going to figure out? Like when we do have our hype trains, there are other elements within there that I still want to be able to control. And a lot of it is an animation that is based, that I did through After Effects. But I would like to have as much of it as dynamic as possible, so that when the wheel is turning, that it is actually turning in time to the hype train, and the clock is counting down properly. Everything is animating in time to that. Something that is, I guess, a little less strain on the system, so that if anything does start bogging down the computer, then it's not going to start mucking up or anything like that. So it is those ideas. And also I'm still trying to figure out the lights at the level 5 portion, because if any other event does occur, then all the timing gets mucked up. So I need to figure out how to control lights within Lumia, and maybe even just changing. I can go really deep into this, or there's probably a switch that I can flip that would actually fix that up. I don't know. But these, again, this is things that we'll be working on, and we'll get there eventually. There's it's not like anybody is racing towards a hype train right now. So it is just for the fact of making it an enjoyable experience for everybody watching, as well. It is just for, I like to entertain myself as well. I figure if I'm entertained, I'm enjoying things, then that kind of gets passed out towards you guys, and you start to have fun over here as well. And that's the whole point. I surprised Subs really didn't get one going. Hype trains occur when there are 3 separate events. So if one person, if you get somebody subscribing, you get 2 people doing 100 bits each, and a lot of people keep like that low threshold and a long period of time in between hype trains. That's how they trigger. So it is specific event. At least you have 3 specific events, and that triggers them. And that's like the lowest you can do. It can go up to like 25. Now, clearly, we'd like to have some hype on here. We'd like to get you guys excited. If I were to do a minimum of 25 events, that is going beyond the scope of what this channel is about. I appreciate the support immensely that is given. But again, I also I love talking about space and astrophotography and getting different ideas bounced around. And we don't all read the same articles, or we don't always not everybody has the same experience with astrophotography or astronomy. And it's nice to kind of get these minds together and just talking about what gets us interested about the night sky, what is really cool out there. And we were talking earlier about James Webb and what we could start to expect to see. Now, there are infrared cameras on Hubble. We don't see those images that often. But when you're comparing to the visible spectrum, as what we get from a lot of our ground-based telescopes, and even with Hubble, we are seeing the red from the hydrogen alpha. You get a lot of the green, the kind of the near the blue end of the spectrum from reflection nebulae. And so this was a image taken by the extremely large telescope in Chile. And this was Hubble in the infrared. Exact same target of the Horsehead Nebula. But you're cutting through all of that hydrogen gas. Hello, Bazzelnik. What's going on, Ma? How are you? There is no drop game today. It is just a Friday. We did have 2 seconds. I got it. So with the images coming from James Webb, expect something along these lines where it is similar to what we're used to seeing with the Horsehead Nebula, but we cut out a lot of that hydrogen alpha. The infrared is essentially the heat remaining. We feel infrared as heat on our skin, but we can't perceive it visibly. So this is making all that invisible target visible. So with Webb, we're going to see images that we're familiar with, but not quite in the same vein as what we're used to seeing. So yes, Sundays is for Lego. Sundays is for all of this. Horsehead looks more like a determined Sandman from the Spider-Man movie. I love that infrared image is tremendous. Like that is space shuttle rebuilt yet. I mean we're practically there. You know, it is there, it's done. But wait, hold on, let's put there. Hubble's back in the cargo bay. We're good. But no, this is the coup de grace from Sunday. Not Sunday, Wednesday. Oh, sorry. This was the drop from Wednesday in 1/8 speed. I can go a little slower, but that is for the YouTube video. That is everybody here, you're seeing it for you get the first view of the super slow motion from the smashing of our I like the rotation on the cargo. It was, I mean, I didn't expect things to go that way. We can take it slightly. Can I go frame by? Oh, this one's rendered at a little lesser frame rate. But you can see that yellow disc is the back part of Hubble that goes flying. Now, where there was a square piece with a round stud on top. Skies tonight, Third Rock. We have terrible skies. It is F in chat skies. We have a nice thick layer of clouds over top, and we did take a look at those images from from James Webb, and the selfie. The selfie of James Webb was absolutely incredible. You joked when you said it was a 2,354 on a scale of 1 to 10, but if you compare the results to your expectations, it would be more than a 10. Really surprised you. It was, I mean, this exceeded expectations. I really was thinking that maybe the wings would pop off in the front. Oop, sorry. For once you don't, but it's also a 82% moon. Ooh. Hopefully, well, I mean, I feel like we're going to get clear skies on a 100% full moon on Tuesday, I think it was. But I figured if I just kind of dropped it and it kind of clunked around and it didn't break that much. Like I said before, it was going to get a gravity assist. And the fact that it knocked over the box for the Apollo 11 lander as well. And that was the engine. That was the that was this portion here that did the damage. But then if we so also maybe a keen eye, if you see that there is a camera right here, I'll let y'all in on a bit of a secret. It's pointing the wrong way. M81 and M82, because it is as far away from the moon as you can. Rosette is too close. And Coma isn't up for another 5 hours. Would you be able to go after... Would you have to go after the Coma cluster afterward? Or is the moon still going to be too much in your way? You heard Ra, the sun god, smote 40 of those porcupine needles Musk launched. Yes, happy and sad about that. I mean, it is going to be another... It is going to be more work to get them back up there. However, these things happen. Not that now. Not a secret now. Now, when you hit a button and don't realize that it's pointing in the wrong direction, it turned to the front camera. So there's nothing else that was really captured on it there. The replacements might be better light shielded. I wonder if see, you had that occurrence. So are they going to be better prepared, better protected for those events in the future? Moon is far enough away from the southwest, and Coma is rising in the southeast. Well, if that works out, if you get the time on it, if you get the time on that, M51 is a favorite to do with your C8. Shot it once already. I think Whirlpool Galaxy is as distant as the target is. It's not as dim as you'd almost think a galaxy would be, and it's a very rewarding galaxy to image. I feel I get better results from M51 more than I do with Pinwheel with M101. They can't protect. They can't protect against atmospheric drag. They didn't get smote by EM waves. It was atmospheric expansion. Really? Okay. Well, I guess I didn't hear exactly what did do it then. They did them low for radio, high for lack of friction. They rolled the dice and they put them where they did from the solar flare.
Water, 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 water. This the water, 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 water.
Thank you for the hydrate, Redeema. Appreciate it. Not that I haven't been drinking my water, but it's good, and it's good to pee pee. Wait, no. So you're planning your Kajai, you're going after M81 and M82 when you get some clear skies. I am still waiting on. I'm still waiting on the data. I don't want to push too hard at the moment because I would like to expand the data set. When we were using the telescope out in California, I did set the target as Bode's Nebula. So, and there were some really interesting images coming out from that. So I think if we're allowed to have a little more time on it, gather a bit more data on Bode's Nebula, and really have something interesting to work with for our image processing time. The total time to drizzle, 270 subs, 5 hours, 44 minutes. Is that the projected time, Caleb, or has it finished? Has it actually completed the process? Finished. Excellent. But that's it projected 5 hours, 15 minutes. That's not too bad. At least it's not like it said, oh, it will be completed in 2.5 hours and then more than double the time later. But your subs are, how big is each file? Because your images are already, they're already like what, double the size of what I'm. Dude, we were at 3000 by 3000, 3008 by 3008 pixels with our images on the sensor, and yours are, you're using the you're like 20. No, your images are huge. I'm about 17 megabytes per exposure, which is still like you got 26. Each exposure is 50 megabytes. Yeah, so you're 3 times the size there. So I guess that maybe is something we try out on here as well. How long will it take? Now, I wouldn't do it on stream because I think if we try to do that processing, it's just going to take forever. So it would be having or maybe we just like shoot a quick video of of our stacking process. You learned more. The Starlinks were launched on the 3rd and had not yet climbed to their final height when a solar flare caused expansion and drag and doomed them, so they were lower than operational height. You have 2.8 times the amount of pixels. We'll round it up. I'll be numerically lazy and we'll just say it is 3 times the amount of pixels. So you said they rolled the dice on that launch for Starlink, of which we're still waiting for ours to come in. And I guess they didn't they were hedging their bets that it wouldn't be that much of a factor. So I am also waiting. Like I said before, we talked with Steve over at Ontario Telescope and Accessory yesterday, of which the podcast is up right now. That is their website. The podcast that I was a part of is this one here, talking about the 533, talking about a little bit of the ZWO 533 monochrome camera that is coming out soon. He doesn't have an exact shipping date, but he's excited for it. I'm excited for that camera, and to be able to pair up everything that we've been doing with a monochrome camera. And at this point, I feel like we could probably still get away, maybe getting an HA filter. So we have our monochrome camera and we can shoot in hydrogen alpha, but we have our L Pro filter, which could work as a luminance, or we are with the L Extreme coming in, we could use that one as well. So there's a lot of exciting things that could start to happen. And I know I said that a lot of the things we were looking to get would be like a filter wheel, but there's other things that we might edge toward if we can maybe even use a different tool set. Don't use the light pollution filter for luminance. You would just use a broadband filter, or what would you use for or would you just use like a UV IR cut for luminance? Just the luminous filter, the UV IR. That's on the list of things to get as well. Like I said, we do have the L Extreme coming in, which will be interesting to check out versus the tri-band filter that we're currently using. It does cut down on the wavelengths, so we are shooting a little bit more narrow band, more specific than just the HA and the O3 with this filter coming in. So we will compare and contrast against certain targets. Oh, look, yes! Yes, we hit it. Follow for follow? I'll follow you, Calf, if you follow me. How you doing, sir? Welcome. Good to see you. What do we need to do? I got to do a couple of these. Yes. Go check out Caffeine Daydream. You think... Some people say they like the sound of my voice. Go check out Caffeine Daydream. He is the smoothest espresso you can get on Twitch. Also, for some more astrophotography fun in the Southern Hemisphere, go drop a follow over to Astro Caleb. You're doing some Beat Saber. How was that? Are you doing it in VR? Which VR helmet do you have? I've been told I need to get a VR helmet. But yes, we are... Welcome to the world of automatic background extraction. I tried to play Beat Saber mid-stacking. How'd that go? It's not recommended. Did everything just... Is that what caused everything to stop? Because you were playing Beat Saber? Is that what did you in? Fair enough. Welcome! How is everybody doing today? But for those of you who are in tonight, and you're new to the stream, I welcome you in. My name is Tom. I am the Astro Canuck. I have recently been on a podcast. If you would like to go check out that audio, recently uploaded from Ontario Telescope and Accessories. This is the Astrophotography Podcast. I was speaking with Steve, the owner of the shop in Bolton, Ontario. It was a really fun conversation. Also, realizing that we were both huge Batman fans it was just one of those things. It just happened to crop up. He was creeping my Instagram page, saw my Batman illustration, and we just went off on an incredible tangent. So much so that I love Batman. That we will be adding a bit of a crafting stream midweek. Trying out something different, offering up a little bit of variety on here, and also sharing more of my passions. That we have this Batman Perler set. And I would like to be able to explore more of this in terms of pixel art and try to create some of our own patterns that we could share. And we do have some cross stitches that are available on our Etsy store. And I would like to expand it to something different, something else. You know, there is this space shuttle that is not getting smashed. Tracker! Batman unsubbing. Oh no. What if it was Spider-Man? Would that help? Wolverine? Xena? But it's just trying out something different. You know, I think it'd be fun to put these together. I think it's a little more accessible than Lego, perhaps, in terms of price. I think per piece, kind of as impressive as a lot of the mosaics for Lego can be. You know, if we do something that's still space-based with these, that's kind of cool as well. I think it'd be fun to try out. Nope. Wolverine or Super Dude. We have no Super Dude today. There's a Lego Wolverine mech coming out. I guess because it is comic book based, I could probably say that we could somehow work it in. Actually, there it is right there. Now, it is a small set, and I bet you we could still probably take an entire stream to build the thing. Just a hunch. Based off of everything else that has occurred in the past. It can take us months to build something. It can take us more than a couple of weeks to build a very simple set. I think it's a bit of an achievement that we actually finished building the the brick sketch of the First Order Stormtrooper in one stream. Although we did finish the Apollo 11 lander earlier than expected. I guess it just depends on how efficient I am. How much I ignore chat is commensurately based upon how quickly we can finish building a set. But y'all are so interesting. I don't want to ignore you. But there are quite a few. I still vote for that Lego crane that can pick up things on the other side of the living room. That'd be cool. There was also a Lego trebuchet that someone had designed. Now, I could only think of nefarious ways to use that. If it could be triggered by something. So chat triggers it somehow. And then it'll launch. I don't know, something. You changing your vote to trebuchet. I think I closed that link. I gotta find out who sent the link. It was one of the custom builds. But I don't think I have that tab open anymore. I think I mucked it up. Until they make a Lego nuclear sub. I wonder if anybody's put that in the Lego ideas. I mean, there's been so many other projects that have been reaching 10,000, and a lot of people are actually saying that maybe 10,000 is too low of a threshold now, because you're getting they're getting a great deal. Not to take away from Sunday's talk, but you know what, we may as well. That's certain that there's like some sets that almost you kind of question why they're getting 10,000 supporters, and it just doesn't seem like a set that would make it. However, no War Machines post World War II. Oh, because there was another set that was it Boeing that had sponsored it that got taken off the shelves pretty quick. So yeah, there was some. I guess maybe it is the popularity of Lego of Lego ideas that maybe more people are voting on things. However, you know, it's still, they don't have to produce all of them. But I think it would be kind of cool if there was if there was something else that, I know there's some Bricklink sets that are being released, and I am keeping an eye out for the observatory that is part of the Wave 3 for Bricklink. I don't know where that tab is. I'll find that out for Sunday. Anyway, but there's a lot of the created sets that probably aren't going to be made by Lego, but if somebody else is going to provide the instructions and a list of where to get your bricks from at a decent price, you know, then maybe you just don't get the fancy PDF, or you don't get the outlandish packaging, you know? I have to settle for the antique sub, the one powered by the guy riding a bike, as pre-World War II. Lego Ecto 1, that would be a cool set. We have the tiny one. What's going on, Dazed Smurf? How are you? We have this one we get to see from time to time. Whenever I'm reaching for subs or bits, we do have the smaller Ecto 1. Captain Nemo Nautilus would be super cool. If it's in the design of how it was in like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with all the embellishments on there. That would be interesting. Although there was a, was it on here? There was a cash register. And that was, and the car, yeah, that was awesome. I'm halfway through watching it again. We never really, it took me 5 sittings to watch The Martian. It seems very rare now that I am sitting down to watch like an entire movie, which is probably why it is difficult to get into Book of Boba Fett. All the episodes are out for that now, right? Giant squid wrapped around the outside of the Nautilus. That would look cool. Oh, okay. Now, I've recently been seeing a lot of people doing just monochrome builds. And there is something aesthetically pleasing about these. James Webb Scope would be a tough decision to be able to hold up around us children after construction. Yes, imagine that you just you build a set and then you just smash it. Could imagine doing something like that. Who would do such a thing? This would be great on a wall if somebody invented a good mounting system. See, I'm okay with the mounting system for the brick sketches, but I'm still not. I'm confident that it's a tiny set. Not a whole lot needs to be done for it, but yeah, I would like to be able to have a more reliable mounting system. But no, who would smash a Lego set like that? I don't know who. Who would do such a thing? It's almost unfathomable. Who would treat a Lego set as such? Harrison Ford would. Get off my plane. There's some guy in Canada. They sounds like a real piece of work. Who would do such a thing? I don't know. Maybe we will rewind the clock and pretend that it never happened. I mean, I guess they figured, yeah, he's got to be a good pilot. He could pilot the Millennium Falcon. Why couldn't he do a private plane? All right, here's one more time for those who may have missed it, for the slow motion smashing of our space shuttle. I am going to be rebuilding it, but it'll be off stream, and we'll just you'll see the progress of it as we go along. But we'll have the YouTube video up later this weekend. I just need to film the intro, and then we'll continue on with that. Hubble survived it was largely unscathed. We were missing one of the satellites, and the front fell off. But other than that, maybe one of the satellites went. Like I said, one of the satellites went missing. But other than that, it was largely unscathed. Yummy Yum, how you doing? Welcome back. Good to see you again. How are things? It has been a while. How is your crafting world going? Now, we were talking about earlier that I'm adding some crafting like streams, and be starting off with some already patterned space designs, but I do want to start to develop my own, and we'll work on them as well. Again, kind of more chilled streams, because why do we need to be so intense out here, right? Let's have a relaxing time. You checked Harrison Ford's wings stayed on. The front is pretty mush, though. See, his front fell off, too. The astrophotography, Yum Yum, is going well. We've had, well, when we have the clouds, it is just purely F's in chat for the terrible skies. That is one of our new emotes we've added based off of this. But yeah, it is, it's not a great night for imaging, which is a bit of a pain. Although we are rolling into a full moon, and that's when we might have a bit of a clear sky, is at 100% full moon. So even kind of looking at the moon when it's in that phase, it is largely featureless. You can get like you can see the mare, the darker areas on the moon. However, it just doesn't reveal all of its lovely details. Have you seen any Skynet satellites falling from orbit? Not yet. I think I saw. I don't know if it was. If people had images of one of the Starlinks coming back into orbit, or if it was just an old footage. But I haven't seen anything. It sucks and Barry. Clear, it's cold, warm, and clouds. We have. Yeah, not too. We're in Grey Bruce County, so we're in southwestern Ontario. We don't have the greatest skies at the moment. I think we're a lot of us seem to be very close together. So eventually, when we do open up our place for star parties, I mean, people are welcome. Will be welcome here to share this experience of the night sky. And like I said, we'll keep you posted on when we're going to be opening up Astro Park, as it were. I think that name is sticking. I don't see it naming it almost anything else. So, yeah, we will be. We are in very low light polluted areas, so seeing the Milky Way is very easy, especially when it's a new moon. Like right now, we're edging into a full moon. It becomes incredibly bright out. And it's also amplified by the massive amounts of snow that we have here. So, and we had like a nice fresh dumping of like 10 centimeters at least today. So, we kind of roll with the punches as best as possible, trying to use the appropriate filters. Like, don't use a broadband filter. Don't let in so much of the visible spectrum through your telescope when it is a full moon and a fresh snowfall and you're getting light reflected off of everywhere. So we will, like I said, we'll be opening this our area up as soon as we can safely get together. But also we do need to cultivate the land just a tiny bit to allow people coming in safely, so we can share these experiences with everybody, and eventually working up toward having a observatory and having our touring scope available, and hopefully a selection of telescopes. So even if somebody doesn't have any telescopes, you can still join in the fun. You can still take a look at some interesting objects, and also as well as setting up this is the long-term plan. So what we want to be able to do is still have our touring telescopes, but still have a monitor available, pointed away from things, but you can see those images rolling in as well. So we'll have an imaging scope, we'll have our touring scope, we can have the visual scopes to look through, and it is you could have a cultivation camp, teach people how to cultivate land by practicing. That's it. All right, everybody come on out today, but first we're going to plow this field and we're going to settle this land over here and get everything all nice and even. And plus, also, you guys, tear down that cow shed, please. We don't need it at the moment. I mean, a goat shed was daunting enough, and although Mrs. Canuck largely took care of that thing. Like, a Herculean effort was amassed, and she took that thing out. You love demolishing things. Well, come on, come on down, but bring your own saw. BYOS. Mrs. Canuck is not going to be sharing her saw. But yeah, that is the plan of what we want to be able to do. Share more of the night sky with everybody. As much as I love doing this on here, but the plans are beyond Twitch. Is beyond this. This is a starting point. We'll still be doing Twitch. I still have plans of sharing the night sky on here as often as possible whenever we have clear skies. You bring your worms, they're best for turning soil. Perfect. We get a whole big community together. I love it. It's great. It'll be fantastic. It'll be fun times. Bring your worms. Bring your own saws. And if you do, any extra tillers. Actually, I'm pretty sure Mrs. Canuck is very excited to bust out the tiller come springtime. It'll be fun. It'll be good. We'll make a day of it. We'll make a weekend out of it. We'll have a weekend retreat. And if we get a couple of bunkies set up as soon as possible, then you know what? Then we will have... That is another goal also as well, is to be able to allow people to... the opportunity to stay overnight, do your own astro imaging, experience the comfort of the night sky in a small little area in southwestern Ontario. If it rains, what game is most likely played? Hungry Hungry Hippos. No, it's not a cult. We're not a cult. But we have cookies. Jumping in the puddles. Exactly. Bring your wellies. Get your hip waders on. I'm not.
Recently, you may have picked up a new interest.
All right. So, plans are for tomorrow, we're going to be utilizing our 45-day free trial of PixInsight. However, we are going to be purchasing PixInsight once that Twitch payout comes through. And I greatly appreciate everybody helping pass through that goal, breaking that 200 sub mark over the past month and a half now. So we will be acquiring PixInsight, better utilizing this program to process our astro images. Like I said, Photoshop we've been using, and it is better for terrestrial photography. I just put a straw hat on. You can be a Mennonite with that beard. I do need to trim it, though. I do need to... Like, even this is getting long. I can't come out here looking all scruffy and scraggly for you guys, you know? Try to put on a decent kind of persona, shall we? I do have legs. It's true. I have legs and I have feet. You can see them right over here. Look. That's my foot. That's my foot. I wear socks. I wear socks and I smash Lego. That's what I do. And I need to, like, powder my nose. I don't know. So that's the preview. This weekend I will be... you don't trust me, say it's your foot. Move your toes. It was the replay. That was the replay from Wednesday. I have hearts on my socks today. Not true. Only hot tub MS ASMR streamers have legs. Oh look. It's our raid target. I think we're going to send you guys over to Caffeine Daydream in a short little while. In a moment. We were just saying hello to him earlier, but I think it's I'm gonna go check out our friend Caffeine. He is wonderful to listen to. Like I said, there's people who say they like the sound of my voice, so I hope you will love the sound of Caffeine Daydream. We'll let that one go through. But also, let's see, who else haven't we dropped some shout outs there for? If you want to go check out Yummy Yum, or go check out some of their work on their Instagram. Probably some cool things. You can see them when they climb in and out of the hot tub. We did. I was thinking, what ridiculous thing could we do for the birthday subathon stream? And I wouldn't be putting water in here. I wouldn't be going that far. But there's some other ideas. Like I said, I'll be posting that on Discord of what some of the stretch goals will be for that. We will aim to do a maximum 12-hour stream on the 6th of March, starting at 10 a.m. So it'll be our Sunday streams for Lego, but it'll also be birthday-based things on there. So we'll have some giveaways, and we will also be having some fun moments on there as well. So that's what we'll be doing on the 6th of March, with the actual birthday being on the 9th, but it is midweek, and I figured Sunday is a perfect time to be chilling out, hanging out with everybody. But we'll be back tomorrow night to do a rent some miniature goats and put down a tarp. Do you know how much goats pee? And then I'm gonna be cleaning up goat eggs everywhere. Forget it. No, no. That's a. Unless we do an outdoor stream, then we'll have goats in a pen. Or maybe we can find some Lego goats. Some Legoats. Although I hear those are a hot commodity. So that is a bit of a difficult thing to do. Also, did I drop a shout out for you as well? Another warm and cozy, chilled Lego streamer. We'll drop a follow to Blocksmith Forge if you may. I always like to see more, discover more people who are doing some fun things within the world of Lego, within the world of Twitch. Again, sharing some different passions. And like I said, we'll be aiming to start doing some new streaming dates with some crafting involved, and we will be also looking to do on the 22nd of February. I'll send these dates out, but we'll be doing a Elite Dangerous stream with Nori Kitty on Tuesday afternoon here for me, Tuesday evening for Nori in the UK, and pretty much almost anybody else who would like to join in. And we'll have a private game, just so we're not going to be bombarded with people who like to stream snipe, because we've had that happen already. But yes, I would greatly like to thank those who have spent all your time here today and hung out with us and joined in on the chats and asking all sorts of questions about what we're doing. And I'm very excited for what is going to be coming up in the future. And for those who are interested in some podcasts and maybe a little bit more insight of what we're doing here or what's coming up, go check out this podcast with Steve from Ontario Telescope and Accessories. We just recorded that last night, and he has it up on his SoundCloud right now. And it looks like we got, he's got about 262 people have already checked it out. So that's pretty damn cool. And that was fun. So I look forward to doing another podcast with Steve in the future. But yeah, those are our raid messages. Once again, I thank you guys for joining in, and those who have subscribed and resubscribed and gifted subs tonight. And just spent the time, hung out, and hopefully you have a fantastic evening. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow night to do a little bit of astro image processing. We'll be trying out PixInsight live on stream, and it'll probably go hilariously, horribly wrong. But let's also spell Caffeine's name right, shall we?
Holy potatoes!
Lovely. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Had a great time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what we're going to be doing. We revealed a large Lego set as well. One more time for those of you playing the home game, we do have our Monkey Kid Galactic Explorer. So that's going to be a fun one to build. Einsteinway, hello. Good to see you in here, but this will be one of our future Lego builds, so thank you very much. We'll have a new goal set up for tomorrow. Usually they are Lego based in some way, shape, or form, so maybe something else will be revealed in the meantime. But thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. As always, I have been Tom. I am the Astro Canuck. I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to share the universe. Have a very good evening, and we will see you tomorrow night.